Welcome to Test Troop, your go-to hub for professional knowledge sharing. In this video, we will explore what Jenkins slave is and how to set up a Windows Jenkins slave. Once the Jenkins is installed, you can access it through the URL localhost colon 8080. 8080 is the port number that we use during the configuration of Jenkins. This is basically serves as a Jenkins server. Whatever we are seeing here is a Jenkins server. This server functions as a central hub for managing your CI/CD pipeline. With Jenkins, you can perform the various tasks like creating and running the jobs, configuring the credentials, managing the user base, and setting up and managing the agents or the nodes. As you know, using the Jenkins server, you can create a job. But do you know where exactly this job runs? This is where the role of Jenkins agent or a Jenkins slave or the Jenkins node comes into a picture. Jenkins agents or a node play a critical role in Jenkins. They are responsible for executing the jobs that are defined by the Jenkins server, including the build, test, and deployment. Without properly configured agent, Jenkins cannot perform these tasks effectively. These slaves or nodes can be a physical machines running on Windows, Linux, or a Mac OS, or they can be virtual machines or a containers depending upon your infrastructure needs. In order to add a new slave or agent or a node, you will have to go to Manage Jenkins, under which you can find node, click on Add. By default, you can see a built-in node, which is a Jenkins server itself. So we will click on a new node to add a new node. Here you will have to give a name. I will give Windows 11 slave. Then you will have to click type as permanent agent. Then click on create. Now you see a lot of parameters that needs to be configured. You can just start with the description. You can give a description as used for running build, test, the deployment. Number of executors determines how many Jenkins job that we can run on this slave machine. You cannot give any random number. The value of the number of executors depends upon the capacity of your machine. If you have a 8-core CPU, then there are n-1. That means 7 executors can be allowed. Okay. For a time being, I will set this value as 2. The remote root directory is path on the Jenkins slave where the Jenkins will store its workspace. This folder serves as the central location for all the artifacts related to the jobs that is executed on this agent. This includes the cloned code base from the version control system, the build logs generated during the job execution, test execution results such as test reports and logs. This directory is crucial for organizing and managing all the job related files on the agent. So for a time being, I will set this folder as, I have created a folder dwork Jenkins. I will set this value as dwork Jenkins. Labels. Labels are used to group the agents together based on certain characteristics. For example, if you have multiple agents running on the same operating system such as Linux or a Windows, you can assign them a common label like Linux or a Windows. This allows the Jenkins to efficiently allocate the jobs to the appropriate group of agents based on their labels, ensuring that the tasks are executed on a compatible machines. So for a time being, I will give it as Windows. Usage. They specify how the slaves will be utilized in Jenkins. You can configure it as use this node as much as possible. Now this means that the agent is allowed to perform all the tasks such as building, testing, and packaging. Or you can also set it as only build the jobs with the label expression matching this code. That means allow the agent to perform a specific task, restricting the agent to perform a specific task such as running the test exclusively and not handling the build and other operations. For a time being, I will set it as use this node as much as possible. Launch method. The launch method specifies how Jenkins server connects and starts the slave machine. The common options are launch the agent by connecting it to the controller. That means this method uses a direct connection between the Jenkins server and the agent. Typical suitable for agent running on a same network. Okay. Like for example, if you are configuring the agent as a local machine, then this is most suitable. Okay, if you have an agent which is a remote agent, then you can use launch the agent via SSH. So in this method, Jenkins server connects to the agent using a secure shell, which is ideal for remote agents, providing the secure and reliable communication. For a time being, I'll use launch the agent by connecting it to the controller. Next option is availability, which defines when the Jenkins starts and stops the slave. The options that are available are keep this agent online as much as possible. So keep this agent available all the times. The second option is bring the agent online on a schedule. The agent starts and stops according to the predefined schedule. The third one is bring the agent online on demand. The agent starts only when it is required, typically when the job is assigned to it. When it is idle, it will be moved to offline. So for a time being, I'll use keep this agent online as much as possible. See, under the node properties, you can also configure the different options. For a time being, I will skip this. Whenever is needed, we'll go and configure that. Most probably, we will be using it for setting up some kind of an environment variables or the tool location. In case we are using any kind of a tools like Git, we can go and set the location of this tool, like the path where it is installed basically. So for a time being, I will not set up anything. I'll just click on save. Once this is done, you can see that the slave is been added as by the name Windows 11, but you can see this cross mark that indicates that the slave is still offline. So in order to bring this slave online, we'll have to perform certain actions. So by clicking on this link, it takes us to a page where it provides an information how to bring the slave online. Since we are setting up the Windows agent, so we'll have to go under the Windows section, and first we'll have to download the agent, which is of type JNLP. JNLP stands for Java Network Launch Protocol. It is a protocol that is used to launch and manage Java application over a network or an internet. Let us go and download this. We'll have to download this under our work directory path that is being set while configuring the slave. So for us it is the work Jenkins. I'll go to this particular folder and bring the command line, and then I will execute the command to download the agent.jar. Now the jar file is being copied, or it is being downloaded into this particular directory. Then what we need to do is we'll have to copy this command and we go and execute this command. As soon as this command is executed, so this will bring the slave online. We can go under nodes and that cross mark is gone now. Now the slave is online. You can use this slave in order to run some jobs. So you can go to the dashboard, my views, and create some jobs. In the jobs, you can basically use this slave to execute the job. Now the agent is online. You can also see the agent.jar is also getting executed here. You can see the information, it is connected. So in order to disconnect the agent, come to the command prompt and press Ctrl C this basically disconnects. As soon as the agent stops its execution, you can see the slave is going to an offline mode. You see, the slave went to an offline mode. Again, if you want to bring back the slave to online, then again execute the same command, java-jar agent.jar with some the parameters like URL, the secrets, okay, the name of the slave, and also the type of the connection. We are using the WebSocket as a connection here. We are not using SSH, so we are using WebSocket as a connection. So now you can see it is connected, and just refresh it, your slave again comes online. This is how you can connect and disconnect the slave. That brings to the end of this tutorial. In this tutorial, we understood what is Jenkins master or a Jenkins server and what is Jenkins slave, and how to configure the Jenkins slave on Windows 11. I hope you enjoyed learning with me. In case if you find this video useful, please support by subscribing to my channel. Thank you for watching.